Finno Ugric lands are quite vast, yet compared to their Indo-European and Turkic neighbors, very small. But there used to be a time when their territory was much, much larger. A time when all of Central Russia belonged to Finnic tribes. And even though those tribes are now gone, they did not disappear without a trace. Their culture and mythology has left a deep mark in the culture of the Central Russians. This is a video about the Merya, Muroma, and Meshscera people. Take a look at this map right here. This is the ethno-linguistic map of Europe in the 9th century. This is approximately the border of the modern-day Russian Federation. As you can see, Slavic tribes were, at that time, a minority in those lands. Then, who was the majority? The Finns. Russian chronicles mention the existence of 3 confirmed tribes: Merya in the center, Muroma a bit further north, and Meshscera a bit further east. The exact linguistic group to which these tribes belonged is not currently confirmed. Some say they were part of the Baltic Finnic branch, others say they were part of the Volga Finns, and that the modern Mari people are their closest relatives. The list goes on. But what's definitely known is that they were quite highly advanced, having their own large trading outposts on the rivers, similar to the Slavic Gords. For example, the Merya had built themselves a city called, in Russian, Tsarskoye Gorodishe, meaning city on the river Sara. The city was built long before the first Slavs reached the area and was used for trading with the Scandinavians coming in from the north and the Bulgars from the east. It was quite prosperous, very prosperous in fact, and because of that in the past many Russian historians refused to acknowledge the city as Meryan and writing it off as one of the many Scandinavian towns like Ladoga and Novgorod. But archaeological findings of bear and beaver idols, crucial to traditional Finnic religion, proved that the city was, in fact, Meryan. The Muroma also had a city of their own, called, quite unoriginally, Murom. The city exists to this very day, but practically all of its current inhabitants identify themselves as ethnic Russians. But if you look at their faces, you'll see that many of these ethnic Russians are, in fact, the descendants of these ancient people. Another legacy of the Muroma that has become crucial to Russian culture is the mythical hero Ilya Muromets, literally meaning Ilya or alias of the Muroma tribe. The mighty warrior was said to come from the small village of Karacharovo, currently part of the city of Murom, the name of which also being of Finnic origin. The mighty tribal warrior always started his journeys from there and headed to Kiev to defend the prince. So the Muroma tribe still lives on in the Russian legends, even though most people are clueless about it. And finally, the Meshscera. This tribe has possibly left one of the biggest impacts, as its name still survives as the name of one of the many subgroups of the Russian people. There are no confirmed mentions of a Meshscera city, but it probably existed nonetheless. A subgroup of Russians living in Ryazan, Vladimir, Saratov, and Moscow regions, collectively known as the Meshscera lands, are called Meshscera or Meshcheryaki in modern Russian, hinting at their origin from the tribe. The particular dialect of Russian that they use is exceptionally full of Volga Finnic words. Another part of the Meshscera eventually assimilated into the Erzya people, a currently existing Volga Finnic ethnicity with their own language and culture. Their language was probably close to the Mordvinic languages, such as Moksha and Erzya. In the end, what I want to say is, the Russian ethnicity is not just Slavic in its origin, it is also Finno-Ugric as well, even probably more so than Slavic if you think about it, and the history of the Merya, Muroma, and Meshscera is the concrete proof of that.